Okay, Naomi and Jennifer, I'm going to get started. I just want to welcome everybody who's on this call today. This is GB Greater Baltimore SHRM's inaugural annual business meeting and member town hall. We are really excited to spend some time with all of you today. Thank you for joining us. And I want to wish everybody a good afternoon. I hope you're staying warm. And I want to just extend some gratitude and welcome all of you on behalf of our board of directors, our volunteer committee members, um, Culpeper Management Group. And this is just going to be an outstanding opportunity for us to just communicate out to the greater Baltimore HR community, kind of let everybody know what the board has been working on, what we're thinking about, and just really open up the lines of communication for feedback, questions by our members, questions maybe by some of our non-members, and we're just grateful that you're all here. I am going to rope in probably our communications director, Jennifer Eiler, later in the call for some Q&A, and I will touch on that in just a few minutes. A little bit of housekeeping. A little bit of housekeeping as we get started. As part of the welcome, I think what we have is our management team and Naomi Roach on the back end has everybody muted. So if you could be sure you're muted for the call at the very end, we'll have an opportunity for some Q&A. And also Jennifer will moderate that a bit. We will also have a QR code at the very end of this presentation so that you can immediately provide additional feedback to the board and myself. For those that didn't get a chance to answer a question or didn't want to ask a question in this call, you can do that at the very end. So we just want to make sure we really leave the lines of communication open for everybody. So it really took a village to put together some information and some conversation today, and we're very excited about it. I wanted to personally show some gratitude to quite a few individuals and in their support for Greater Baltimore SHRM, and of course, the accomplishment of our mission and goals. And so that, first of all, it starts with all of our members. Grateful to all of you that have seen us through the years, dating back to the Chesapeake HR Association and now Greater Baltimore SHRM. You've really helped shape and build our community over the years. We want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank our committee volunteers. We even want to thank our presenters and our keynote speakers, and even SHRM National, our Maryland State Council, all those folks that have been part of helping us build the association that we have today. And I was even on a recent volunteer leader trip last year. I got a chance to meet and collaborate with all of the chapter presidents of Maryland. And I just want to give you all a shout out as well, as you help shape our association, and we want to do that in return. So very dedicated group of volunteers help lead Greater Baltimore SHRM. I'm going to make those introductions in just a moment, but it absolutely does take a village. So a lot of gratitude goes out to everybody. So let's talk about the roadmap for today first. We will end promptly at 1:30. I'm a stickler about staying on time for meetings, so if we get out a little bit early, great. But we will not want to rush through things. This is our first meeting, so we budgeted an hour, and if we tend to need a little bit more time, then we'll carry that into future meetings. But thank you for your patience, everybody. So for today, we worked through our welcome and thank yous. I wanted to very happily introduce our board of directors for 2026. We'll review our mission and goals, and then we're going to cover our highlights from last year and looking ahead. So there are a lot of things that are on our radar, and this is a wonderful board, very collaborative board. I'm looking forward to making those introductions. We'll do a Q&A at the end, and I believe there is room to pose questions in the chat. Those questions may not be public, but they might be going privately or directly to Naomi, who will, and Jennifer, who will organize that information for us. And we're going to wrap things up. So thank you for letting me review our roadmap for today. Let me go through some introductions very quickly. And I would like to start with this team right here, an exceptional group of folks, dedicated, collaborative, energetic. We always start a board meeting by saying we're all volunteers, we're in it together, and I could not be prouder and more excited for this group right here of professionals that have come together to truly service the greater Baltimore areas and beyond. So let me make a few introductions. There's actually 4 new members. There was 1 board member that everybody returned to the board this year. They're all returning members with the exception of 1. And what comes with that is a lot of institutional knowledge and dedication and consistency in the work that we're doing as volunteers. So thanks for this opportunity for allowing them to be more visible and the introductions that I want to make very quickly. So I want to start with these 4 colleagues of ours. We've got Alexandra, Kirsten, and Ebony Winter, who are actually going to be co-chairs for student relations. We felt there was an opportunity for 2 individuals. Alexandra and Ebony were great candidates for this seat. We created 2 seats, and they will be working very closely together in the student relations space. So very new for us to have a co-chair. Great opportunity for Alex and Ebony. We also have 2 new seats, student relations for both Alexandra and Ebony. In college relations, we also have the co-director seats for Nadia Armagan and Aaron Agabidi. So student relations, 2 seats, college relations, 2 seats. And this team right here, within the team, these 4 colleagues of ours are going to work very closely together to make as big of impact as possible in the community. This is emerging leadership at its best right here. So these 4 colleagues are bringing a lot to the table. We're very excited to have them. We also have Kedra Lazard, who is coming back to the board to oversee workforce readiness. We've got Sierra Parks in diversity and inclusion, Jeremy Saunders in professional development, and Aubrey Shefsky in community engagement. We have Amanda Russo in member services, and I'm excited to talk about a couple programs she's working on. Samantha Bayless, I believe third year back. Vanessa Kozum, overseeing spring conference with her committee, and Lakeisha Johnson, the fall conference, the legislative conference, which will be in October of this year, and details to follow. A few more colleagues to introduce. Jennifer Eiler, who I had mentioned her name a little bit earlier. She's our communications director and has been very influential in helping push the brand out. Rachel Fink, past president. Excited to talk about her involvement in volunteer engagement. And then Tina Schmidt, also a returning past president who will oversee mentorship and is the president-elect. And you'll see her picture twice. Jason Nimoy, thank you for the opportunity to serve, be a part of the board of directors and serve all of you. Tina Schmidt has agreed to come back. Former president, I believe 2022, I'll double check my records, 2023. And we're very, very happy that Tina will be back. Liz Zambito, immediate past president, and then Liz Uncle, who protects our wallet, is the treasurer, secretary and treasurer of the association. I also want to make sure that I introduce our management team, Culpepper Management, Dina Culpepper and Naomi Roach. We partner extensively with this partnership to help really run and grow the association. So couldn't do it without Dina and Naomi. And Naomi can hear us now. She's on this call, just managing everything on the back end. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to make those introductions. We always start our meetings we always start our board meetings talking about our mission and our goals. Everything, all of our discussions, all of our actions as a board, they center around everything you see here on this slide. So very important to us. And in our discussion, in our conversation with everyone on this call, we will always refer to our goals, especially to ensure we're on track and servicing all of you. Really, really important for us. So thank you for letting me get through the first 10 minutes with sort of a backdrop. Our goals for 2026, and again, I think a good reason why we wanted to have this meeting today was because we didn't want to wait. The board, we all talked about it in December. We didn't want to wait until spring conference to sort of give everybody an update and sort of what we're working on behind the scenes. But our focus for this year is a commitment to provide really three things: a variety of programming and services consistently throughout the year. So every month, and then a real balance in two ways: a balance of in-person and virtual events. And that hybrid programming strategy is going to be very, very important for us. We all want to get back in person, and also the virtual is very helpful too. Um, the other balance is a mix of social events and educational and knowledge-based events. So when we look at everything for the year, we want to kind of make sure that we cover everything from book club to happy hours to monthly education to professional certification, the conferences. Really want to kind of mix it up for everybody. So some highlights for last year. Highlights for last year. I want to cover just a few things. Our board grew from 16 to 19 seats, so we added the two student relation seats along with a college relations co-seat, those three new seats. The board will meet 12 times in 2026. We usually mix that up as well. I'd say about a third of them are in person. But we also meet very consistently throughout the year. We're collaborating all the time, whether it's at a conference, an event, might be one-off meetings. There's a lot of communication amongst the board members. Letter C, GBSHRM is actually considered a super mega chapter. We earned sort of that title once we hit 1,000 members, and that took place actually before the pandemic. After the pandemic, we saw a change in our numbers, and our current membership is currently at 665. But we are committed to first servicing our members the best way that we can based on our mission and our goals, and getting back to that 1,000 number. We still have the Super Mega Chapter title. Our focus will be to get back to that 1,000, and we do that through all of the volunteerism and support of the board and all of you. Our average number of new members per month is anywhere from 6 to 12. We have a very strong partnership with National SHRM and the Maryland State Council, SHRM Maryland State Council. Kudos to all of you. And wanted to talk a little bit about numbers. In 2025, we actually had a budgeted net income of around just under $26,000. Our actual net income exceeded that by close to $35,000. And what we do with that money is we reinvest it back into the association with more programming. Could be a keynote speaker, could be a one-off conference. It might be an upgrade to the website. It's the board decides how we allocate and use those funds. But please know that whatever variance there is, absolutely gets reinvested back into Greater Baltimore SHRM to accomplish our mission and goals. Operating budget for 26, our projected net operating surplus is in the around 33,500 range. So we seek to break even and generate a surplus that we can bring back into the association. Finally, there was a board discussion in December and a vote recently. We have changed the presidency term from 1 year to now 2 years. And so I'm very grateful to be president for the next 2 years, being part of this group and setting up the next president up for success, which will be Tina Schmidt. So thank you for the few minutes to cover those highlights. Okay, couple of big changes that took place within the past 2 years. Important to mention. I want to thank two of our past presidents, Liz Zambito and Rachel Fink. We had a lot of discussion around the first one, which was a name change. A lot of you remember us as Chesapeake HR Association. That's how I was born into this community. And after very, very careful consideration and discussion, we decided to change our name. It's a fresh name, better represents who we are. We're stronger, we've become a stronger connection to the mothership, to SHRM National, creates more opportunities, and the rebrand is just the beginning. It brings new energy, new connections, next level programming, and it also gave us this really sort of creative opportunity to showcase what it looks like for us to rebrand. So, again, a shout out to our management team and to Jennifer and our board members that help us sort of redefine how we look and feel and the emotional connection we create with our communities. The other big change, there were two changes I mentioned. Dual membership renewal, DMR. We are now a DMR chapter, meaning when you become a member of Greater Baltimore SHRM, you are also a member of SHRM. So that goes together. Now, there'll be a lot of questions and still a lot of questions for us even on the board, but we want to make sure that we have FAQs, resources, all the information you need to be able to answer any questions that you may have. And so we are going to bolster our landing page on our website to ensure you have everything you need to understand what it means to join our chapter. And I will say, I believe by 2029, I think by 2029, all of the chapters will be required to become DMR. So we're a bit ahead of the game. And I think approximately, I hope I'm not misquoting here, but I think approximately 40 to 50% of all of the chapters nationwide are now DMR. So we're very proud to now be a DMR chapter. And just one thing to note, I made a quick note here that students actually don't need to be dual members, if I'm correct. So there's an exception there for students, and they can just become members of Greater Baltimore SHRM. So we'll just continue to have more information, more transparency around what that looks like. But those two important changes took place under the watch of Liz Zambito and Rachel Fink. So thank you very much. Okay, a little bit more information here about DMR again. We're going to have this presentation available for everybody so that they can have these notes. Okay. Looking ahead for 2026 with continued balance. Um, First thing I wanted to mention was a wonderful program, the Student Mentorship Program that officially launched last year. It was a heavy lift. I believe it was a couple years in the making, and it really took a tribe for this one to come to fruition. A lot of people to thank. I even think some people on this call, of course, Tina Schmidt, Liz Zambito, even a couple of other folks. Joe Quinn was a big help. He's involved in the group. James Phillips, also very involved, very grateful. And I know I'm missing a lot of people. There were many others that have helped out. And this program, we are so excited to continue the collaboration. And I think with our college relations and our student relations team, the four board members that I introduced earlier, will be will be influential here in helping connect the dots and collaborate with all of us. So, wonderful student mentorship program. You can learn about all of this on our website. So, thank you, everybody. All right, here's a very exciting relationship that we are building very quickly with the Dr. Nancy Grasmick Leadership Institute out of Towson University. And I wish I could see a show of hands to see how many of you are involved or know about this incredible group and platform. We have great relationships there. Caitlin Bowman and Krista Grubb, who we're going to work very closely with to build a strategic partnership on the programming side in so many different ways. And it was really Liz Zambito on our board, media past president, and Jeremy Saunders, who oversees programming, that will truly kind of help bring this all together with our board and all of you. A lot of events can be coordinated with Nancy Grasmick, and we're really putting our heads together. I think we have a meeting next week on the 26th to kind of take a closer look at where programming will start. But if some of you remember, last month, um, last month we had or I'm sorry, 2 months ago in November, we had our inaugural HR breakfast forum with the Grasmick Institute. Over 100 people registered. It was kind of a pilot program for us, and it seemed to work. So that gave us an opportunity to work out some of the kinks. We're going to meet with them again next week, and we're going to figure this thing out because it's got a lot of meat on the bone here for the association and SHRM and the community at large, and for even some of the other potential chapters. I kind of skipped this slide before. Future focus programs, elevate leadership, strengthen the community. I was going to say that there are two programs in particular that may benefit from this, which would be our Executive HR Roundtable and our Department of One. There might be something there to share, which I will come back to in just a few minutes. Okay, last month we snuck in a live webinar. There were a little bit of technical difficulties, but Christine, she showed up and did such a wonderful job. There's going to be a lot more of this type of virtual programming throughout the course of the year. Some of it will have some themes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that during today's meeting. But just wanted you to know that these types of events will happen all the way up until the end of the year, and gives everybody an opportunity to get accreditation and certification and and just sort of stay on top of your accreditation overall. Okay. This was, I think the running joke for me and the board is we're partying like it's 2019. We hadn't had a holiday get together in 6 years. And we put our proverbial arms around each other, made it happen. It took place on December 17th. I'm not sure if Many of you remember our holiday get-togethers. Since before the pandemic, it was time to bring it back. We pulled it together, Sips of the Season, and it turned out to be a very nice event, social, and I want to, show our gratitude. The board wants to show our gratitude to Samantha Bayless and Jeremy Saunders for really helping pull this together. So there were several other board members too at this event that also helped bring it together. But I think we pulled it together quickly. I think the final head count was around it was around 70. So it was great. All right, we're going to do that again this year and every year. All right, this was again, I wish I could see a show of hands, but this was a very creative opportunity and now branded as Pizza and Prosecco. This is kind of the brainchild of Sam Bayless of Membership Development and turned out to be a really successful event. This will be in person. It was geared more towards new members and very relaxed environment. Bring a guest. Last one we did was in September of last year. And our volunteers, we had a couple of volunteers that are very active on the committee, Philip Seaman, Andrew Kibler, and others. I think we'll take a look at our calendar. We might end up having this event twice. And just really fun opportunity to really put our proverbial arms around non-members. So more to come there. Samantha, thank you. All right, I wanted to get back. Just looking at our time, it looks like I'm a few minutes ahead. It's 12:56, almost at the halfway mark. Wanted to get back to our student focus, college relations, and our student relations in particular. And again, we're going to create additional opportunities to bring students together, even on occasion with our board or a focus group, help them with networking, help them with growing emerging leadership. And these four colleagues that I'd mentioned, Nadia, Aaron, Ebony, and Alexandra, all very involved in that community, those communities. And so there'll be several engagement activities for students. Big focus for us. Big focus for us. Let's not forget that we will offer the scholarships as we do every year. We announce those at spring conference. It used to be one scholarship. It's now two. And we budget for that. Very important that we acknowledge this with two scholarships and more to empowering future HR leaders. That's really what it's all about. Okay, we remain very committed to diversity and inclusion. This committee is led by Sierra Parks, who brings a lot of background and energy, and we really appreciate her leadership in this area. We want to continue to provide a resource of information. Maintain diverse membership is very important for us, and we are going to take a closer look again at the James Rouse Diversity Award program. And that'll be something that we talk about next month for later this year. But I wanted to thank Sierra. She has some creative ideas for D&I this year and very much on our radar. Aubrey Shepsky leads our community engagement seat, and this one's really fun. And there's a lot of layers here too. Don't even remember if anyone went to the Orioles game last year. Friends and family. It was a very nice community event, but it was hot. So we're probably going to think about a different day or time of day for a game. Can't forecast the weather. Well, you probably could forecast the weather in the middle of July, or June. So maybe we'll think about something else. But great event. Aubrey put that together. Had a couple of us board members support her the idea is to give back to the community, and there'll be additional planning around all of this to really kind of open it up beyond HR professionals. So, Aubrey, thank you very much. And also shout out to the event that you're hosting next week, which I will talk about just a moment. Want to introduce Kedra Lazard again, who oversees career transition resources. Really, it's our workforce readiness committee. She's the board chair, and it's one of our core leadership areas to ensure that individuals are, well prepared to enter the workforce and making positive contributions. It's supporting partnerships with local colleges, preparing students for the workforce. It's supporting social services programs. It's possibly assisting veterans. Again, a lot of layers to workforce readiness. And Kedra has some planning and ideas for this year, and the board is all going to support her. So, Kedra, thank you so much. The book club. Again, I wish I could see a show of hands. The book club is actually really has some momentum, and I think the program has been around for 2 or 3 years. Lynn, longtime previous board member and friend of the association, Lynn Argenbright, helps lead that with Jennifer Eiler, our communications director. And there's more information about our book club on our website. Um, you get credits for being a part of the group. I think you have to write an essay. Um, so there's a little bit of work that you got to do. And it's just a great social. I think the meetings are virtual. I'm pretty sure. We'll double check. And the Hill Group, PSA, now the Hill Group, helps sponsor that event, that program. So very very unique program to maybe some of the other to SHRM, but this was something we want to continue to build upon. Certification programs. We have had quite a bit of discussion regarding certification programs in the last few months in particular. Um, Jennifer Eiler, who also sits, our communications director, who also sits on the State Council Board of Directors, um, helps lead in this area. And we are going to continue to bring additional instructors, resources. We will have all of that information on our website so that you can come straight to Greater Baltimore SHRM, find out what's available, and then make your choices. So that'll be a very continued partnership with Jennifer and some other folks on our board. Last year, Jennifer actually did a class for us, and I just pulled this up just yesterday because there's some good information here, but um, there's some discounts and everything else. We'll keep you posted. It's on our radar. Next year, I'm sorry, next year, new year, new connections. We wanted to come right out of the gate with something social. It's planned for next Tuesday. The weather is going to be great, and hopefully. And so this is going to be a very nice event hosted at Gordon Feinblatt, which is the place of work for Aubrey Shevsky, one of our board members. Thank you for opening the doors to your office space in beautiful downtown Baltimore. That'll be next week. And also want to thank Jeremy Saunders for helping orchestrate this event with Aubrey. Next week, January 27th. All right, I'm going to just touch on a few more things, and then we're going to get to some Q&A. We have two kind of focus groups within the association. I want to start with the HR Department of One Form. HR Department of One Form really has been around for several years. I want to say 5 or 6. And it really was reinvigorated a couple of years ago and Amanda Russo oversees that program. The HR department of one will meet several times during the course of the year, virtually six, but also there may be an opportunity for something in person, possibly through the Grasmick Leadership Institute. So just further discussions around that. Then there's the Executive HR Roundtable that has been around for 10 years. The Executive HR Roundtable is going through a little bit of a reset, and we're looking at new programming, more robust programming for that group, and sort of how folks can get involved and everything else. But we wanted to ensure that we have a niche for our VPs and our CHROs and our emerging executive leaders. That group program will never go away. It is just going through a bit of a refresh right now. So stay tuned for that, and we will have more details the next time we update all of you. Okay? Thank you. Amanda, thank you for your support. Want to move on to volunteer engagement? And Rachel Fink is a past president from 2024 and has been an advocate and a member of the association for many years, will oversee volunteer engagement. And that's a really important role for us because really what it does is helps us stay very closely connected to all of our volunteers. We create some events for them. We want to include them, in a appreciation dinner later this year and some other things. But also, it's pretty key to really develop our board. And that's where the succession planning and the conversation with our volunteers becomes very, very key. So Rachel, thank you for your support there, and all of the board will support you as well. Rachel and of course Culpeper Management, we're involved. We're looking to always have conversations with interested volunteers. And again, we're getting a bit more organized on the back end regarding outreach, response, and where the best place for our volunteers to go. Like Ed mentioned before, succession planning is a key part of it. And we have term limits. We're very fortunate to have pretty much everybody come back this year. As we grow and as we develop as a group and as an association, there may be some new seats involved, which is very exciting. But it's very important to bring in new leaders, ensuring leadership continuity and lasting strength of our chapter. And Rachel has a very good stronghold on that. We have a few services that not too many people know about. We have a member directory. If you're a member of the association, you have access to know who else is a member. So that's on our website. You learn all that. You learn most of that in your onboarding when you become a new member. We do have a webinar library. If you actually go into our website, there's content there that you can pull. And finally, what I wanted to mention was the member exchange. Again, all on our website. The member exchange is it actually is it's really an online space. It's almost like an intranet. It's really it's an online platform where you can post questions to other GBSHRM members. In fact, I just saw one go out yesterday or a couple days ago, and to exchange ideas, to develop interprofessional communities. We are going to really highlight the exchange much more this year. It's an investment that we have made, and so I think renewal for us comes up later in the fall. But we will absolutely market and push the exchange out much further this year, so that you're able to utilize this really great benefit, great communication tool. We have a newsletter, it goes out every month. We've been very consistent about that. Kudos, Naomi, thank you for the execution, and Jennifer for ensuring its consistency. Newsletters usually go out first week of the month, and we're constantly improving that platform to ensure that we communicate very effectively with all of you. Looks like just two more slides. Sponsorship. Sponsorship, advertising, exhibits. On behalf of the board and all of our volunteers, we're very, very grateful for the support, the financial support that we receive through these three areas. And we are going to look to create unique and new opportunities to sponsor. It could be something at this level, or it could be something at this level, or maybe something in between. Bottom line is we are incredibly grateful for that community, and we are going to look to, again, put our proverbial arms around them. So thank you for those opportunities. We have the conferences coming up, all of that information and opportunities to advertise, sponsor, and exhibit. It's all on our website. Very quickly, very respectfully, there was a lawsuit last year with SHRM, and a statement came out by the state council, Maryland State Council. We support that position. We're consistent with Maryland SHRM, and very simply said, we're steadying our purpose, we're grounded in our values, and we're committed to supporting the HR community we proudly serve. Thank you for that. Okay, when you think of, again, when I think of the conference, and a lot of you have said the crab cakes. So, crab cakes and chandeliers is coming back. Crab cakes and chandeliers is coming back twice. Last year in the fall, and I want to thank both Vanessa and Lakeisha. Lakeisha's conference, the fall conference last year, was at the Marriott. It was a great event. And it was an opportunity for us to see, to see something else. Very good event. We got a lot of good feedback, and it was very important to ensure inclusivity, the space. We just needed a little bit more of everything. We decided we're going to go back to Martin's West. So thank you for all of those that attended the fall conference last year. Please don't go back. We're not going there. Go back to Martin's. We're not going to confuse it anymore. And also, we're very excited. The spring conference is in a few months. That will be here before you know it. And Vanessa has been very busy with her committee, and the entire board is rallying around her for an incredibly successful spring conference coming up. So they've already started prepping crab cakes and getting ready for us. We'll see you in a few months. Okay, what I would like to do now, this is our first time doing this, so let's see how we do. We might have some questions. So I think Jennifer and or Naomi, do you want to help co-moderate at this point? Are there any questions that maybe you can present that I might be able to answer here?
Yeah, I think one of the questions was, are there any additional opportunities for members to get involved beyond attending events like committees or short-term volunteer roles?
I'm going to comfortably say yes. And by the way, Jennifer, all the questions that come in, we will review them again with the entire board so that we have some clarity. But that's a great question. And I would say yes. If anybody wants to volunteer or be part of what we're doing within the association, there may be a space that is full, like we have plenty of volunteers. There might be another area of focus That's where we may direct our colleagues. Good question.
And I just have one more.
Yeah,
How does the chapter decide which topics or formats to prioritize for future events?
I love it. What a great question. So, Jennifer, you can support this answer too. We usually survey our members. We're asking them what content they're interested in. And even after this meeting, we ask for feedback. What are you looking for? So I think if we're generating this sort of dialogue with our members and getting their feedback and hearing what they want, we want to be able to deliver that. So, Jennifer, I hope that answers the question.
It does. And we are also putting a link at the bottom of the newsletters to ask that same question. What do you want to give to us? Ideas, thoughts, opinions, and we want to curate what you're looking for.
Yes, excellent. Thank you. Jennifer, any other questions?
That is all that came in today. But if you guys have any questions too, you guys can chime in at this point.
Okay. Um, there's going to be one more slide after this with a QR code so you can provide some feedback. Very, we're going to end about 10 minutes early. A very, very sincere thank you for everybody that was on this call.
Jason,
Oh,
I just
yes, go
got I
ahead.
just got one question.
I'm excited. Go ahead.
Um, as a pediatrician and mom, I see firsthand how family stress bleeds into the workspace. Do you offer programming to HR professionals who want to provide support and education for working parents?
Oh, that's a great, really great question. I would probably very respectfully take that question to the board and say, what can we come up with? I think there's a solution there. I couldn't be specific, but there is an opportunity there for us to explore. So I would really like for us to maybe put that question at the top of our list at the next board meeting. And for whoever posed that question, it would be great to put further comments if you have them in the uh, in the survey. Jennifer, anything else?
That's it for now. I'll let you wrap it up.
Okay, thank you. I've said thank you to a lot of folks today. Appreciate all of our members that were on this call, everybody that was on this call, including our board. And Jennifer and Naomi, thank you. Um, a lot, a lot to do this year. We're very excited about it. I always remind again all of our board that they are volunteers servicing this community. And so it was really important for me, especially for the community at large, to really know our board and for us to be able to connect the dots as best as we can. Here's that QR code. We value your feedback. I'm going to go ahead and leave that on screen we'll leave it on screen for about a minute, and then we will conclude the meeting. Thank you again, everybody. It's close to 1:20. You get 10 minutes back. Your responses to this meeting and how we are communicating out to the community is incredibly important to us. We value your feedback. So on behalf of our board of directors, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you at an upcoming event. And thank you for the opportunity to serve you. Have a great day.